Okay, so this is Neolife compensation plan explained in detail. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you how Neolife compensation plan works and why the compensation plan is the problem that distributors have. The reason why 99% of distributors in Neolife do not succeed, do not make money, even when they are putting effort upon effort. Now, in some of the posts I've already made, I've already explained the levels, the status in Neolife, and what is called PV and BV, and the percentage. Now, the compensation plan is the percentage the company, Neolife company, pays you on each level you are, based on the BV, or how much product you sold in a particular month. Now, examples to calculate to you how this compensation plan is so greedy and stingy, how it makes Neolife distributors poor. Alright, so I want to use what I've just written on board here to see if I can help people to understand Neolife compensation plan and why I have problem with Neolife compensation plan, and why I believe that this compensation plan is the reason why 99% of Neolife members are very, very poor, despite the hard effort that they are putting. Now, it's a very, very complicated compensation plan to calculate, but it's easy for those like us who understand it. So let me just see if I can shed a little bit light on this compensation plan. First of all, there is these two things you see here, PV and BV, are what control Neolife business and compensation plan. The PV is the point value, while the BV is the bonus value. The point value, every product you purchase in Neolife has a point. So that point, any product you buy, it has a point. So when you calculate your point at the end of the month, it will tell you which level you will get to. While BV, any product you purchase has a certain amount of money kept for you. So you are going to earn the percentage of the total amount of that BV, depending on the level you are. Take for example now, in the level we mentioned earlier, now you can see we have starter or distributor here, which is 100 PV. If you are a distributor, at the end of the month you accumulate 100 PV. Let's say you are just starting the business. Nothing, the company will not pay you anything for accumulating 100 PV. But that 100 PV, you bought products to be able to achieve it. So there is a product we are going to use for example, which is their 3NN. That 3NN, each one carry 34 PV. So for you to get 100 PV, that means you have bought 3 of it and you have sold 3 of it to people for you to get this 100 PV. Now, second level, which is the manager level. For you to become a manager presently, you need to have 500 of this PV. That means you must have sold products that when the points are calculated, you must have gotten 500 PV. Now that is where you start earning 5%. Let me go back. From this starter, you can see the number one is starter. When you do 100 PV, you earn nothing. But as a starter, if you do 250 PV, you are going to earn 3%. I'm going to calculate these things for you to see how much that it will take for someone to do 250 PV, both money and effort that it will take for someone to do 350 PV, and the amount of BV the person will get for this 350 PV, and they are at the end of the day, this 3%, how much is going to be? I'm going to calculate it for you. Now, let's go to the manager. I say if you do 500 points, you earn 5% out of the BV of this product you purchased. I'm going to show you how it works. All right, now moving over to the senior manager level. Senior manager. Now, because as a senior manager, from 1000 PV, you become a what we call qualified senior manager, and you begin to earn 10% of the BV you are going to accumulate. Okay, of the BV you are going to accumulate. Now, as a senior manager also with 2000 PV, you earn 15%. So when I start calculating this percentage for you, you will see where the problem is. Therefore, that is needed to accumulate this 1000 or 2000 PV, and this percentage of earning, you will see that is a slavery, total slavery. Now, as a executive manager, you need to accumulate 3000 PV, then to get 20 PV 20 PV. You see, I know a company that from the starters, once you accumulate 250 PV onward, you start earning this 20%. Can you see the difference? I know a company that once you accumulate 250 PV onward, you start earning this 20%. But look at this, you have to accumulate 3,000. Do you know the effort it will take to sell products, buy products, sell products? Do you know how much product you have to buy, both you and those under you, to make this 3,000? It took me practically 6 years of effort, although there was a lot of manipulation. You understand? So, but it depends. It doesn't matter how many days or how many months, how many years, but it's a lot of effort is required to make this 3,000 PV to start earning 20%. And it's not as if when you make this 3,000 PV next month, if you become executive manager next month, you did not make this 3,000 PV, let's say you fall back to 2,000 PV, instead of earning your 20% out of this 2,000 PV, they will pay you 15%. You are executive, level 4. Level 4. So let's just continue. I will explain that more further. So now, director is one of the most desired level in this company. Once your point and that of your team reach 4,000 that month, you become, it's called QPV, qualified PV, total PV. So you start earning 25%. So from director onward to the highest level, they earn 25%. But I know a company that earn up to 45%, that their distributor earns up to 45%. That aside. So now this percentage, now I'm going to use the example to calculate to you why this percentage of earning here is so stingy or greedy. Why the effort that you are putting to make this PV and what you are earning from your bonus value is a slavery. Because it does not match. All right, now talking about the effort that is required to either make 100 PV, 500 PV, 1000 PV, and the percentage. Let's use example. Now let's start from starter who need to make 100 PV and is not paid anything. Now look at it here. I'm going to use a product we call 3NN because that is one of the most important products in the company. This 3NN, the point this 3NN has is 34 PV. If you buy one, you get 34 points, and the BV on it presently I think it's about 18k of the BV for buying one of it. Now you want to do 100 PV because in Neolife everybody is required to do mandatory 100 PV. Even if you are the highest position and you have accumulated 4,000 PV, and you with your team have accumulated 4,000, and you did not do this mandatory 100 PV, they will not pay you shishi. You will not get shishi. Okay? But I know a company that you don't have to. There's nothing like that mandatory 100 PV or so. Now, using 3NN as an example, we want to calculate. Now, you need 3 cups of that 3NN to be able to get this 100 PV. Now, each of it is 34 points. 34 PV. That is with the point you get. Then if you multiply by 3, it will give you 102 PV. See that? 102 PV. Then the BV on top of it, the BV is 18k per one presently. 18k. So this is 18. Okay? 18k per one. If you multiply by 3, it will give you 54k. That is the BV. Then that means the price of each of these product of 3NN presently I think is 36,000 if I'm not mistaken. 36,000. That means 3 of them you will need 136k to purchase this 3 cup of this 3NN to get 102 PV and 54 BV. Now, assuming that you are just a starter, you use 136k to purchase a 3 cup of this thing and get 102 PV. The company is not going to pay you anything as a starter. They are not going to pay. But assuming that it is you who is already at a certain level, they are going to pay you. Let's say you already have a team and you just do your own 100 PV. Now let's say you are a senior manager. This thing is a senior manager now. A senior manager with 1,000 PV. So you do your own 100 PV. So you are going to earn 10% You see, it's a senior manager, you are going to earn 10% of that your own personal 100 PV. We call it PPV, personal PV. All right, so 10% of this 54K, which is the BV accumulated by making 100 PV, the 10% is just 5,400. 5,400. Okay, now let me calculate some. Let me come back to see how this is being calculated now. Let's say for you to be a senior manager, for you to be as a senior manager, you have 4 people: Mr. A, Mr. B, Mr. C, Mr. D, and you yourself. You see it? Now that month, Mr. A accumulates 250 PV. He will earn your own 3%. Now the percentage you are going to earn, you know, say as a senior manager, you're supposed to earn 10%. Senior manager with 1,000 PV, you're supposed to earn 10%. But now the way the company is going to calculate this is different when you have a team and when you don't have a team. When you don't have a team, any amount of PV you do, you will earn the whole of it. Let's say you are in a senior manager and you do this 1,000 PV alone on your own, you will earn the 10% of it. But if you do this 1,000 PV with your people, A, B, C, D, like this one do 250 points, this one do 250 points, this one do 500 PV, this one do 100 PV, you now do your 100 personal PV. All right, everything making 1,200 QPV. So now this is how the company is going to calculate this payment. This is the compensation plan. This person who remember is from 250 PV, the company start to pay. From 250 PV, the company start to pay. The company don't pay from 100 PV to 249 PV. They don't pay anything. Now, this Mr. A will get his own 3% for doing this 250 PV from his own accumulated BV. I'm going to explain to you how many BV it is. Now, this Mr. B, and when this person gets 3% of his own, as a senior manager, you're supposed to earn 10%. But this person has already collected 3% from his own, then leaving you with 7%. So you are going to earn 7% out of this person's head. This person, Mr. B, to the same thing, he collects his own 3%, leaving you with 7%. You are going to earn 7% from this person's head. Now, this person did 500 PV. As a 500 PV, he collects his own 5%, leaving you with what? 5%. You are going to earn 5% on this person's head. Mr. D did only 100 PV. Therefore, the company will not pay Mr. D. So you are going to earn all the 10% on top of this person's head. Understand? Mr. D did only 100 PV. So the company will not pay Mr. D. So you are going to earn your 10% on top of this Mr. D head. And you do your own 100 PV. So you are going to also earn your own 10% on top of your own head, making everything 1,200 PV, abi? So we are going to calculate how much is this your 77 PV based on the BV of this person. All right, now, so let's calculate now. How much is this your 77%? We want to see how much a director with, a senior manager with 1,200 and 200 points, and who has 1, 2, 3 direct legs under him, because the company pays you. You make more money when you have direct legs. That's why they are looking for people. Understand? These direct legs are doing their own, struggling to sell their own products, and they are making their own PV. So at the end of the day, you earn some, depending on the level they will earn their own percentage. The remaining percentage will come to you depending on the level you are. Now we are using the level of senior manager, who is earning 10%. Okay, so once these people have collected their own percentage from the level they are, the remaining percentage you will earn it on top of their own head. Now let's look at this. Now this is how it's being calculated. Mr. A, the BV that is going to come from this 250 PV of Mr. A. Remember, I say BV is a bonus value. Each product this person buy now, there will be a money kept for him, which in using 3NN we say is 18K. Understand? Using 3NN we say 18K. So this is a 3NN product calculation. Every other product has their own BV and PV. All right. Now Mr. B, A did 250 PV. His BV, according to 18K per each cup times 8 cup. It requires 8 cup. 8 cup of that product is what we need to do this, or 7 plus one other product called Carmac. But let's just say 8 cup. All right. So 144K is the BV. So your 7% you are going to earn on top of this his head is going to be 10,800, because he has earned his own 3% from this 144k. The same thing with Mr. B is his own 144k because he also do 250 PV. So he will earn his own 3%, leaving with 7%. You will earn 10,800 on top of his head. Now Mr. C did 500 PV. His BV is 288. He will earn his own 5%. And you will earn 5% on top of his head. That is 14,400. Now Mr. D did 100 PV. So he's not going to earn anything. 100 PV is not going to earn anything. So you are going to earn total of that 10% on top of his head, which is 54k of his BV. 4,500 is what you are going to earn. So you will now earn 10% of your own. Your own you did, your own 100 points is also 4,500. If you calculate everything here, the total you earn is 54,316 naira as a senior manager with 1,003 people under you, earning 10%. As a senior manager, earning 10% with 4 people under you. Okay, now. All right, okay. So you are going to earn, at the end of the day, you'll be earning for 5,360. Now, there is what we call VAT. When I know it is 5% VAT. But no, I think it's up to 10%. But let me still use the same, like 10% VAT now. So if they remove VAT from this 45,360, your total money, that is the VAT of 5%, is going to be 4,536 naira. VAT of 10%. So your total money as a senior manager who is earning 10% is going to be 40,824 naira. Now, this is where the problem is. This is where the problem is. Look, listen. This 40,820 naira you made, now it is not, the money is not even up to the money you use in making your own 100 PV. Look at how much you spent to earn your own 100 PV. You spent price. You spent 136,000. You see it, 136,000 to do your own 100 PV. Now, all these people spend money. They spent money to make this their own 250 PV, 250 PV, 550 this PV. They spend a lot of money. If only 100 PV, if only you spend only 100 PV, you spend 136,000. Imagine the person who do 250 PV, how much he spent. Imagine the person who do 250 or 500 or how much they spend. Now, if you look at the amount of money that has been spent for you to get this 1,200 PV, is incredible. And at the end of the day, you are making 4,824 naira. 40,824, which is not even enough. It doesn't even buy one cup of that product. You yourself bought 3 of it. You bought 3 of it to get 100 to get your own 100 points. This money you earn at the end of the month is not even up to buy one cup of this product, which you bought 3 of it. Not to talk of how much all these people put for you to get 1,200 QPV. Do you see that you just lost money? You use 136,000, you spend 136,000 to buy, to make your own 100 PV, but you could not even make up to the 1 cup. You cannot even make up to 2 cup of that, the money of 2 cup of that product, take less of making profit. So you have just lost both money and your effort. And this is exactly the same thing that applies to all this on. And you know the most bitter part of it? The most bitter part of this compensation plan is that you will be demoted if you do not meet up to this target. If you are a director and you could not meet up to 4,000 PV director and you end up meeting up with 3,000 only, they will, instead of paying 25% as a director, they will pay you 20%. If you are a director and you only have 1,000, instead of paying 25%, they will pay you what? 10% as a director. Alright, so you see, the reason why many Neolife distributors will not even understand what I'm explaining here is because this business is understood when you are already into it. In fact, I can tell you that many directors cannot calculate this you see me calculating here. If you give me the BV of anybody in Neolife now, I can calculate to you exactly how much that person will earn with his BV and the level that he is. You can calculate exactly how much that person will earn at the end of the month. Okay? Now, this is the reason why many of them will begin to manipulate their downline, because you see, as all these people are taking their own profit, some of them now, because they have already seen that if these people should not complete this 250 PV, let's say if this person did not complete 250 PV now, he end up doing 249. the company will not pay him. So sometimes they will not begin to manipulate those people so that they will not do all that for them. You know, some many of the distributors used to submit money in the hands of the leader. When they go sell the product, they will bring the money, keep it to the leaders, give it to the leaders to hold, so that they can use it to do more product for them. Okay, so some of these leaders now, when they have now noticed now, okay, that this person is about to complete 250 PVU and he will cut this 3% out of his own 10%. Is supposed to end. You understand? So this person is about to complete too, and we also cut this. Now, when you now know this person wants to complete 500 PVU, and you know that this person will cut 5%, he can just manipulate it. He will not do some order for this person. You understand? So that at the end of the day, this person will just maybe get 300 PV. And you know, if you get 300 PV instead of that 500, you still fall here. You still fall here. And if you are supposed to get 250 PV, you end up getting 249 PV. You understand? You will not earn anything because Neolife start paying in 250 PV. It doesn't matter how much effort and money you spend to do this 249 PV. If it remains 1 PV to complete this 250 PV, they will not pay. So these leaders will begin to manipulate their downline to make sure that they don't collect their own, their own percentage. So that all this percentage, instead of earning 7, you will earn 10 completely. So that at the end of the day, all this money these people supposed to, this small penny they're supposed to collect will now come to. Remember, the 3% of the total PV of this 200 this 250 PV, the 3% is just 5,400. 5,000. Sorry, the 3%. Yeah, the 3%. If you want to calculate the 3% here, 3% is of this QPV. Look at it, of this BV, 54,000 naira. 54,000. So just calculate the 3%. You will know how much this person is supposed to earn. This 3%, whether it will even reach 4,000 naira. Understand? So these people begin to manipulate so that they will collect all this percentage these people supposed to collect and add to their own. So to finalize this explanation, I know it will be difficult for even the Gen Zs in Neolife and even the directors who don't know anything to understand how greedy this compensation plan is. Now, to finalize this compensation plan, I say Neolife compensation plan is where I have problem with Neolife itself. I don't have problem in their product or in the business, network marketing as a whole. I don't have problem with it. But you see this compensation plan, this is where I have problem because the effort people are putting to make this PV, you understand, to make this PV, and the amount they are getting, you understand, does not worth it. It is just exchange of money because the money you are using the money and the effort you are putting to make this PV, you understand, and the percentage they are paying you at the end of the day does not worth it. That is why you keep on rotating. It takes a person who have gathered plenty people, you understand, and spend a lot of money. His people have spent a lot of money, put a lot of money into the business. For imagine this person at 1,000 PV. Do you know how much all these people have spent and do this PV before you can earn this 40,000 naira in? So only you earn 40,000 now. All these people are just earning penny. The same thing here. Director. A director will spend. Okay, imagine today. Based on if I calculate the one of a director, you see that it's almost the same thing. They will not tell you today director is earning 200, earning 400,000. When you calculate that 400,000, when you calculate the effort this person and the team has put, understand, before you can earn that 400,000, you notice that it's cheating. Why will I collect 25% on top of 4,000 for you to understand what I'm saying? When other company, understand? When other company just from this level, from this 250 level, you begin to collect 20%. From this level of 1,000 PV in other company, you begin to collect 25%. Imagine the difference, 10% and 25%. Look at where you are collecting 25%, one of the highest level. But in other company, just from this level, you collect 25%. Understand? So why should you waste? Okay, 250 PV, you are collecting 3%, while other companies are collecting 20%. Do you see the greediness? When I say this is the problem, because imagine that you are collecting 20% out of this 250 PV. You earn reasonable amount of money. Okay, let's calculate it now. 20%, 250 PV, the BVs, these BVs of 250 PVs, 144K. Now let's calculate it. You will see that if you are to collect 20% out of this money instead of instead of 3%, let's see what it will give you. Instead of 3%, you collect 20%. You see the difference now, and you see that you can make more money if you are collecting. So now look at it. Instead of 3%, imagine that you are collecting 20% out of this 250 PV you did, which your BV is 144k. Remember, I'm using training for example now. You understand? 144k. Now, in calculating it, 3% of this 144k is just 4,320 naira. Why 20% of it, of this same amount of money, this same effort, is 28,800? Is that not slavery? No, tell me, is that not slavery? The same effort, the same PV, you are collecting 4,320 naira. Other person in another company is collecting 28,800. Oh, is that not slavery? Is that not, if you use the sense this, if you calculate it here, is it the same slavery in all this percentage? Still the same slavery. So whether you understand or you don't understand, this is the reason why only 1% of people succeed or make money in Neolife. The majority are just accumulating points, helping just 1 or 2 persons to make it in life. You understand? So if by the hard time Neolife changes this compensation plan, you see, the truth of the matter is that Neolife is more than 60 years now, but they have never changed this compensation plan once. But they keep on changing the prices of the products, because they change the price of the product, but they don't change the compensation plan. Understand? So this compensation plan needs to be changed if it must benefit the Nigerian people. That is my own pay. And come anyway, I will come and say the same thing I'm saying here, that this compensation plan of Neolife is a slavery. Of course, it is you that will make the decision to join or not to join. But let me tell you, 99% of those joining network marketing at Neolife International, they do not know what they are joining until they are already into it and have gone far. Before they realize that, many don't even know what is happening to them. They don't know is this compensation plan. They keep on putting effort, but they don't know that this compensation plan is the reason. Even those who have realized it have already put a lot of effort. They can no longer go back. Understand? They can no longer. That's why to decouple from this business, Neolife International, is almost impossible. Understand? It's almost impossible. So this is information. This video is for information purposes. It's not meant to incite violence. It's not meant to use to bully anyone. It is for information purposes. So I will not be held responsible if you choose to misuse the information in this video. So this compensation plan, I'm going to post the write-up also, because this video I made it, I'm a very busy person too, so I made this video just anyhow. So just for people to get the idea of what this compensation plan is doing to Neolife members as a whole. So I'm going to post the write-ups as well. You can read the write-ups and the analysis I post next. Okay, so guys, so this is all I can give you in this compensation plan. So to help you understand a little bit how the Neolife compensation plan works and why it is my own problem with Neolife. That is my own problem with Neolife. And the second problem I say is the leaders, the so-called leaders who have also taught others how to cheat and manipulate. You understand? These are my two problems. But I don't have a problem with any other thing. Neolife International, you see this compensation plan. If it is not changed, then those who are doing this